Hello and welcome to Talk Around Town. I'm Stefan Chatwin, and today I'm sitting down with Jeff Bertany. Jeff is an IT manager with the City of Fairfield. Jeff, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how long you've been with the City of Fairfield and what brought you here.
Well, I practically grew up here in this area. I went to Armio High School.
Oh, wow.
So after Armio, went away for college, did my graduate work in New York City. I joined a Big Four consulting firm. I traveled the globe working, but I always longed to come back to the City of Fairfield. So last summer, I had the fortunate opportunity to join the IT team, and now I'm just loving living in the city of Fairfield, in which I get to serve.
So you worked in the private sector first. You made barrels of money, I'm sure, there in the private sector, and then you decided to be poor and come work for the city and local. Something like that, right?
Something like that, yes. But this is a more rewarding and fulfilling position, that I've ever had than in the private sector.
And I can relate to that. I worked in the private sector as well. The money was good, but boy, there's nothing that beats public service, is there?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the IT division. How big is it, and how many people do you serve?
Well, we are a small but mighty team. There's 15 of us currently. We're hoping to add a couple more at the end of the year. We serve across all 9 departments of the city. And, that's about 603 full-time people. But that ebbs and flows during the season when we take on more seasonal and part-time workers.
Right. So you're really the behind-the-scenes team that makes the rest of us look really good.
We try.
And able to do our job. Tell us a little bit about some of the kinds of things that you do behind the scenes and the kind of support that you provide Team Fairfield.
Yeah. We're organized under 3 structures with the help desk and public safety applications that Peter Perez runs. And that, those are the people who come to your offices and they fix your computers and your printers. So
I just had that this morning. I had a issue with my login thing, and boy, like that, they were able to get me fixed and back up and running.
That's great. That's our most visible support that we provide the city. Secondly, is the network infrastructure team that Eudora Fleshman runs, and that keeps the backbone of our technology running. And they also include emergency radios, the servers, so all of those things that provide the infrastructure for us, for the software applications to run on.
So when we talk about public safety, and we talk about how important our fire department or our police department is in ensuring for the safety and well-being of this community, their impact and their effectiveness would be far less without IT and IT support and the work that you all do behind the scenes to ensure that they're able to communicate and that they have the equipment that they need to work effectively and efficiently in the field.
We like to think we contribute to that. We maintain the emergency radios. We maintain the radio towers for those communications. So yes, that is the behind the scenes and the backbone of what we do.
Wonderful.
And then thirdly is the enterprise business applications team. We support about 50 to 60 applications that are used throughout of all of our departments. And the most important one is, of course, our payroll, our finance, and our HR system. And but one thing that touches everyone is email. That's like the air and water of how we communicate in the city.
Yeah. We can't even survive without email anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't get paid if you guys aren't doing your job, it sounds like.
True.
You touch payroll and everything else. You really touch everything. And there are a lot of outside threats that we have to deal with within the city and elsewhere as well. But tell us a little bit about how IT protects us from some of those outside threats.
Well, I was told by Eudora not to give away too much details because if those people who are bad actors, they're watching this.
We have a strategy out there and we like to keep that strategy.
Absolutely. We don't want to give them a blueprint of how to get into the city's network. But what I can tell you is that we have a multi-layered approach with hardware, software, artificial intelligence that alerts, detects, and mitigates any intrusion into our system, our network, and our data. And an analogy I can give you is we also have a security information management vendor that monitors our networks and our data and all the activity within the city. It's like if you have a home and you have a security service, and when the doors or windows are open, you get notified. And that's what we have essentially for our network. If something happens that is out of the norm within our networks, if data is leaking within our applications, and any activity that normally we don't expect, it is mitigated, it's shut down, we are alerted.
So as a user then, and this is not just as an employee of the city trying to protect city information and data, et cetera, but maybe even as a personal user for my own personal information that's out there that's precious and at risk. What kinds of tips would you give the users to protect ourselves from those outside threats?
A major focus of this is be vigilant with email. Don't open attachments from an email address that you are not aware of. If it's an unfamiliar address that's getting into your inbox, do not download the attachment. Do not click on an untrusted link.
Now, I've noticed a lot of times I'll get emails that say they are from company X and it's a respected known company. But more often than not, it's actually not from that company. And they're trying to get me to download stuff saying that they're from whoever. Is there a way to check that? Is there a way to know whether this is a reputable company or not?
One way to do it, sometimes they spoof it, but one way you can do it is look at the domain address. It could say Bank of America at, acme.com. Then you know it's not Bank of America. If it's customer service at bankofamerica.com, and then you can sort of be sure that it is coming from Bank of America.
And I guess be careful of the curiosity. Sometimes they're coming out saying you've just won. Click here to do this. You're like, I didn't enter a contest. So.
Absolutely. Wonderful. If you get unsolicited emails that say you've won some type of sweepstakes,
don't download that stuff.
Yes, delete it.
So what can the departments here with the city do to help IT out?
Just be vigilant of what comes into their inbox. And just be vigilant of an email that would say, hey, I have an emergency invoice that needs to be paid. It's late. Please pay this. It may not be coming from your boss. It may be coming from an outside source. And so one way that IT has mitigated this is any external communications, we have a banner heading on that email communication that says, be concerned, be wary. This email does not reside, it resides outside of the city and it's an external email. So that just gives another layer of us just to be aware of these communications that may be malicious.
Okay, terrific. We're going to take a short break, then we'll have more with Jeff when we come back.
Hello, Fairfield seniors. Join us at the Adult Recreation Center for the popular and COVID-safe curbside coffee and craft. Stay in your car as you drive up and meet and socialize with our staff. We'll hand you a take-home bag filled with a craft, coffee, snack, and brain-stimulating activities. This event is limited to the first 20 seniors, so hurry and register by calling 428-7421. We hope to see you at the ARC.
Welcome back. We're continuing our discussion about the city's IT division with IT Manager Jeff Bertany. Jeff, what is the most challenging part in IT and working in IT?
I think it's keeping up with the demands of the city. As the city expands and, our financial expansion grows, demand grows, and the department's technology needs grows. But we are a team of small and mighty 15 of us, and we're trying to meet those demands with our limited capacity. But yet, we still have all of these implemented technologies just to maintain, update, and keep the lights on.
Yeah. So with that change and that expansion, technology also continues to evolve. What was advanced last year is no longer the in thing this year. How do you keep up with this constantly evolving technology?
Yeah, absolutely. Technology changes now at a much more rapid rate than a decade ago.
I can't buy a cell phone without having it obsolete like 3 months later, it seems, these days.
the major companies want you to buy a phone every 12 months. So technology does evolve that quickly. And what we try to do is stay abreast of this with being a part of a lot of technology forums. We are involved with Department of Homeland Security for obvious security reasons, with the federal CISA, which is the Cyber Information Security Agency, and a lot of Microsoft forums as well. And our managers periodically attend technology conferences and webinars and trainings to exchange ideas with our colleagues, from other cities, counties, at the state level. And so for us to stay abreast of the industry trends and understand what the threat landscape is out there.
So this is something you guys are reading this stuff all the time. I'll pick up a comic book and you guys are picking up a tech manual probably and going through that. So that's terrific.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I understand IT has a recycling program to reduce e-waste. So first, what is e-waste? And give us some details about this recycling program.
Well, e-waste is anything that is an old computer, an old monitor, an old printer, an old phone. We try not to fill up the landfills.
Right.
IT maintains a hardware and computer life cycle that's about 5 years. So every 5 years, we provide you an upgraded computer, monitor, or printer, all the accessories that go with it. And what we do with the old equipment is IT brings this old equipment back in. We have a rigorous process in which we wipe the data clean of all city information, city data. We sanitize the machine, and then we give it to our local partner. So our local partner takes this still usable equipment, and then they find education districts, they find retirement homes, they find other charitable organizations to provide this equipment to.
So we're extending the lifetime of this equipment that we've used. Once it's not usable for us anymore, certainly it's usable for somebody else.
Absolutely.
It continues to serve and services groups that can't afford to go out and buy this stuff on their own. So
yes.
That's terrific. Mm-hmm. Are there any upcoming technology projects that IT is going to be working on this year? What are some of the big projects that you're going to be sinking your teeth into this year?
Well, the biggest project is called Fairfield Fast Forward. It's a multi-year project. We kicked it off last year. It's about a $4.5 million budget. It is to modernize and upgrade the finance, HR, and the payroll system. And, we've been going at it for the last 8 months. We expect to go live with the finance and HR modules next July of 2022.
Terrific. Jeff, thanks for being here today. Mm-hmm. You really are the team behind the scenes, and we appreciate all of the work we take for granted. The focus that you have on making sure we have the tools and the equipment that we need to do our jobs well. So again, thank you. If you'd like to know more about the city's IT division, visit our website at fairfield.ca.gov/IT. Thanks again for watching Talk Around Town. We'll see you next time.